Hey everyone, wanted to do a quick video today on concealed carry in Wisconsin. I know there's quite a bit of information out there already, but if you're anything like me, I usually go to YouTube to get any information I need first and then Google second, just because YouTube is just so darn easy to have someone kind of tell you what to do. I figured I'd kind of do that in this video here. With Wisconsin, the concealed carry law and permit is effective November 1st, 2011. This video is being made in December of 2011, so any information you hear here is pretty much up to date, but obviously you can't hold me responsible for any changed or updated information. What you'll receive from the Department of Justice if you're approved for a Wisconsin concealed carry permit is the letter from the Attorney General here, and I have mine blocked out, the information that shows my personal information, but it says here, congratulations on your successful application for a license to carry a concealed weapon in the state of Wisconsin. The license is valid for a period of 5 years from the date of issue. It says your license authorizes you to carry a concealed manner in a handgun, an electronic weapon, a billy club, or a knife other than a switchblade, which includes a butterfly knife. To lawfully carry a concealed weapon, you must have this license with you in your photographic Wisconsin driver's license or identification card. These documents must be displayed to the law enforcement officer upon request while the officer is acting in an official capacity and with lawful authority. Goes on to say it's the right to keep and bear arms is an important right guaranteed by the United States and Wisconsin Constitution, blah blah blah, but mainly just saying, congratulations, here's your concealed carry permit. Along with the letter, they do send you the actual permit, which I won't show here. It's just essentially a license the size of a regular driver's license, and shows your name, the date it was issued, and the permit number. It also sends with you this nice pamphlet on concealed weapons license information, which is good information. Obviously, everything in here you should already know if you've applied for a permit, so should be a review. If it's not, then you're kind of in trouble. But it's got some really good information in here. And I do have a copy of the application that you can print off from the Department of Justice, just as an example here. I think it's 5 pages long, and it's very similar to if you ever buy a pistol, the background check form that you have to fill out there. It's got that involved with it, as well as some other questions and answers. So you'll get the ID card, like I mentioned. You'll receive the approval letter and the concealed weapons license information brochure. So you get those 3 things once you're completed. The information available at the Wisconsin Department of Justice website, and I'll kind of try to put a link up there on the video that you can link to get out there to get that information. For many of you who have hunter's education, the training that is required for hunter's education does actually meet the requirements for a concealed carry permit. And you can, if you don't still have your DNR permit, you can go out to the Wisconsin DNR website and print those off for a $3.75 fee, so not a huge deal. I'll also try to link that link into this video so you guys can check that out. For the actual Wisconsin CCW permit, you can get that from the Department of Justice website, as I mentioned before. Otherwise, I'll try to link the actual PDF application to this video as well, so you can just kind of download it right from there. A lot of questions when this law was being made and when it finally came out is, what is the training requirements that go along with this new law? And since the law came out, they did ease the requirements on it that they initially had. Now all they really require is that you do have some sort of proof or some sort of training, and generally what they consider, the bare minimum is an hour's worth of training. I think most people would argue that that's not sufficient, as well as myself, and I would think a bare minimum should probably be a 4-hour course with some sort of hands-on experience, but that's up for argument. There is no specific time limit put in place for the amount of timing that's required, but again, I think if you tried to apply without some sort of at least a minimum hour, they would probably deny you. Your best options for training is, like I mentioned, hunter's education. If you ever plan on doing hunting, it's a great course to go through. Any kind of firearms instruction course that you can get from a private company will work. And they offer them a lot through sporting good companies. For instance, my wife went through Gander Mountains. They also have civilian firearm training from technical colleges. We have one close to my house that offers a program for law enforcement that is an accredited course. It also gives some additional information above and beyond what some of these 4-hour courses provide. So that's a good option. And then if you have armed service experience, or if you're a law enforcement experience, that would also be sufficient enough for, I think, the state of Wisconsin to issue a permit. The application process, once you have your training kind of handled, is pretty easy. All you need to do is secure your training documentation, and generally you'll be provided that upon completion of your training course, or again printing off that DNR permit from the website. You want to print and complete your concealed carry application, which I mentioned here as an example. Prepare a copy of your valid Wisconsin driver's license. So essentially just take your driver's license to a photocopier, make a copy of it, and include that with your permit, your application. You want a check or money order for $50. That's what it does cost. And the breakdown of that $50 right now is the application fee of $37 and the background check fee of $13. And then you just want to mail everything to the Wisconsin Department of Justice, Attention Firearms Unit, P.O. Box 7130, and that's Madison, Wisconsin 53707. So that's a pretty easy process. As long as you have your training in place, printing off the application, writing out a check, and sending in a copy of your driver's license, it's not too difficult of a process to do. And anyone who's contemplating carrying a gun for concealed carry reasons or for defense reasons, they make it fairly easy. So you have to hand it to them for that. Just a couple things that I want to go over, such as where weapons are not allowed. This is something that you have to, pay very close attention to, obviously. But you never want to bring your weapons into any police stations, prisons, jails, or secured facilities, any county, state, or federal courthouse, school grounds within 1,000 feet. Bars and taverns are okay as long as you're not drinking, but again, you're never able to carry a concealed weapon, or any weapon, I believe, for that matter, if you have been drinking. Residential and commercial properties that choose to prohibit weapons, anyone that hangs a sign, and anyone who lives in Wisconsin knows that you've probably seen quite a few of those in the last couple months since the law went into effect. And any federal buildings. And the one thing that kind of stuck out to me was a post office is actually considered a federal building. So if you are carrying concealed, that's something you definitely want to keep in mind when you're doing your day-to-day just routine or doing errands, that you really want to keep your eyes open for any kind of postings or any type of federal buildings that you might be going into. Like, again, a post office that you might not normally think would be considered a federal building. And just a couple quick reminders. You have to be 21 years old to apply. Your permit is good for 5 years. Always remember the firearm fundamental safety rules, which is 1, always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. 2, always keep your finger off the trigger until ready to shoot. And 3, always know your target and what is beyond. A quick way that I came up with remembering those 3 fundamentals is DTT, which is an acronym for direction, trigger, target. Always know the direction your gun is pointed in. Keep your finger off the trigger and outside the trigger guard until you're ready to fire. And know your target and what is beyond. So as long as you can remember DTT, you should be okay. As a gun owner, you are a responsible party for your firearms at all times, even if someone else is holding your firearm, so keep that in mind. The firearm should only be used in a defensive situation where you believe your life is in immediate danger. Obviously, we're not carrying concealed weapons to become superheroes and fight off crime. That's just not what it's intended for. If you carry, be prepared to use the firearm physically and emotionally. And a lot of tough guys out there will say, I'm ready to defend my life and my family's life, and it's not going to be an issue. But you always want to be prepared for those instances. And then just with physically being ready, just get out there on the range and practice a lot. Pull the gun out of your holster. Make sure it's memory routine with the actual actions you're using. You don't want to come to that certain time when you do need to use the gun and you're not capable of using it, or you can't remember how to use it. It should really just be muscle reflex out of memory. If you do use your firearm, be prepared to have legal repercussions. Be prepared to spend a night or 3 nights in jail. It's just going to happen if you ever have to discharge your firearm legally. It's one of those things you have to deal with. So be prepared for that. And then always inform law enforcement upon contact of your concealed weapon. If you're just being pulled over for a traffic violation, anything really that you come in contact with a law enforcement officer where they're going to question you or any of that, it's just really good just to right off the bat specify to them that you do have a legal concealed weapon, and obviously never reach for the weapon. Let them go ahead and provide you directions on how to handle that situation going forward. So that's pretty much it. I hope all of you have found that this video was useful, and again, remember those safety fundamentals, and be very safe carrying, and hope this helped and hope you enjoyed. Thanks.